It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Back with you after a long holiday weekend. Back, rejuvenated. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, bringing you all of the latest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Some big news for high school football fans as the Orchard Lake St. Mary Eaglets took care of business Friday night by becoming back-to-back champions. They dominated the Dexter Dreadnoughts 51-14 in the MHSAA Division II State Championship at Ford Field. The Eaglets' second half surge is what sealed the win after a tighter first half. They led 24-14 at halftime, then overwhelmed Dexter with a commanding 27-point shutout in the second half. St. Mary's depth, discipline, and big play execution ultimately got them this all-important win. And the victory capped off a memorable season that showcased the strength, balance, and resilience that define championship-level football. Huge congratulations to the entire Orchard Lake St. Mary's football team and their head coach, Jermaine Gonzalez, on another incredible season. Here's hoping they can go for a three-peat next year. Speaking of stellar athletes, West Bloomfield High School has no shortage of those, and recently 3 of their best signed their letters of intent to continue their athletic careers in college. Amani Agut, Sheridan Beal, and Elizabeth Eichbrecht all signed to their respective colleges for volleyball, basketball, and swimming, respectively. I spoke with some of the celebrated athletes as well as their coaches to hear what this important day meant to them.
It was amazing. It really shows that I'm stepping into a new chapter of my life, and now I'm super excited to see what's here to come. I always love being around family, and it was great to see everyone come out and support me today. It just means that I made a difference in a way, if that makes sense, and I really left my mark here, especially on the court.
It's always a great day to see high school students, athletes, sign for to play another 4 years. Not a lot of kids get a chance to play the next 4 years, and Amani was, in the dozen years that I've coached varsity volleyball, is probably the best offensive player I've had. So to see her excel and to be able to have the opportunity to play, I knew she'd have an opportunity to play at the next level, but to see her sign, it's always a special day.
It feels great. You know, this is a moment that I've been looking forward to for forever since I started playing basketball. So it's just a surreal feeling, and it's just a very great experience. I'm very blessed.
And you had some very, very great words from your coach, but also from a lot of the people you've played basketball with. That had to have been such an incredible surprise to see during this special day.
Yes, it was very surprising. I wasn't ready for that, but it felt really good. I've been with these girls for a really long time now, and these are my very close friends, and to hear these words coming from them is just a very good feeling.
Well, Sheridan's truly loved. I mean, she's loved beyond the coaches, our teammates, her classmates, and I just thought it'd be a great opportunity for her to get her flowers, so to speak, from her teammates and also some of the other players that play other sports. But I tell you one thing that was unique was seeing one of her AAU teammates here just coming to support her. It was a phenomenal, loving time.
That's got to mean such great things for the school as well to see this impact right in front of them.
Yeah, it's great for the community. It's great for the schools. The kids, they're not there on campus yet, but to play another 4 years at college and to have that ability to meet new people, have another group of teammates to play with and coaches and to excel and to travel. And there's a lot of things that you get that's beyond high school. And it's just another 4 years to be able to excel and make your dreams come true.
And heading off to college, playing for Tennessee, what are you looking forward to at the collegiate level?
I'm looking forward to being a strong player at the college level. I feel like I've gotten to that point here in high school and club. Now going into college, I also want to make a mark there and just see how far my career can take me.
It just inspires me to be the best person that I can be. Coming from West Bloomfield, I'm around a lot of greatness, and it gives me not necessarily a head start, but it gives me a lot to, stand on, a lot of resources, and it just makes me want to live up to the expectations of the school.
Such a special day for all of those athletes. Best of luck as they continue their athletic careers in college. As you may have seen outside this weekend, it was the first big snowfall of the year, and it definitely won't be the last. It's a reminder that many beloved outdoor activities are making the move inside for the winter season. Thankfully, there are plenty of resources available all throughout Greater West Bloomfield, including Swag Kids Gym, who will soon be unveiling several new features to the beloved location. I got to speak with owner Ralph Tompkins about some of these big changes and what West Bloomfield residents can expect this season. Ralph, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's great to see you, man. I appreciate you having me on. Let's do it.
Of course, let's do it. Love talking about this. Love going to Swag Kids Gym. Did a package over there about a little over a year ago. Lots of great things to see there. And you've got some big updates coming up with the gym. Care to tell us about them?
Yeah. We've revamped a lot of things inside the gym. We have virtually new programming in terms of things that we offer class-wise for kids and families. So it's really great to have the opportunity to come up with things that are new, that will be engaging and creative for families to enjoy inside the gym. So we're really excited for really the rebirth and relaunch. And I'm actually wearing the new logo of Swag Kids Gym and Entertainment. So we've rebranded just about everything inside the gym and outside, and it's been really great for us to do.
Awesome. Always nice to see a fresh coat of paint on something. Nice to see. And great things still taking place inside. One of the things you were telling me about is a new thing with Swag Kids Gym called the Ivory Room. Could you tell me about that?
Oh, my goodness. The Ivory Room is a new, beautiful addition that gives families really access to a premium modern event space right inside of Swag. So what makes it special is its versatility, right? It's elegant enough for milestone celebrations, yet still very warm and family friendly and kid friendly. So whether it's a birthday party, an event gathering, the Ivory Room really creates a unique atmosphere that really elevates the experience, and it also allows us to offer more event options with more creativity, and really it's a whole new level of fun and experience for all of our families in the community to really enjoy. So we're super excited about the Ivory Room coming to Swag.
Awesome. And I'm sure with the Ivory Room, that means there's going to be a lot of maybe some more special events taking place with Swag in the future, I would imagine.
Absolutely. So the holidays are always really a special time for us to bring families together. We definitely have plans to, in the near future, to do like kid dance events, obviously bring Santa Claus for like a holiday party. And the big thing that we always do every year, our 4th annual year now, will be the New Year's Eve day party that we do. And this year we're actually doing a kids rave party. So we're bringing in special lighting, we're bringing in a DJ and MC, and it's going to be an awesome family experience where they really get to do like a family kids rave party for New Year's Eve day, something that's super special for families to celebrate, bringing in an awesome new year inside of the Ivory Room space. So the space is going to look completely different in comparison to past years that we've had our New Year's Eve day party. In addition, obviously partnering with schools and anybody who really wants to utilize this space, whether it's for schools or community or for birthday parties or anything else. But yes, it's going to be a brand new event space inside of here. And God, we couldn't be any more excited to just give it a fresh, like you said, a fresh colored paint inside of the gym, and really just utilize the space for something different so everybody can really enjoy it no matter what.
That's right. All of that sounds like so much fun. Great to see the kids getting in on the excitement, especially for New Year's. So a lot of big changes with Swag Kids Gym, and I'm curious, how would you say these new changes help you to stand out among other kids' fitness or enrichment centers in the area?
Well, for us, like just offering a new, basically a brand new opportunity to way the gym could be utilized is something different in and of itself, in comparison to other kids' gym centers. And listen, there's so many kids. I think it's absolutely wonderful that people really get the opportunity and choose to take the opportunity to not only go to places, like ours, but other places because there's such a need for kids being able to have a space and center where they feel comfortable, confident, and move. So, with us opening the Ivory Room and doing new programming, it's just, again, another outlet and an opportunity where people can really bring their kids in, not only to when it's cold, but year around to our center, but also we're very unique in a sense where we're able to go out and create the experience of experiencing a gym class anywhere, whether it's virtual, at the school, doing field trips at the school, doing assemblies at the school for kids of all ages, public, private schools. That really what makes us unique. If they can't come to us, we could come to them and create a very valuable experience for them, whether it's a dance or a gym activity or a mix of both. We're in touch and tapped in with so many different cities surrounding West Bloomfield and so many different schools that really helps us stand out, but it also helps us be able to go to where they're at, and it makes it really easy and convenient for the schools and the different communities that we go to be able to bring a swag gym experience to them right to their doorstep or to their school.
Love to hear it, Ralph. Hard work every single day. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with the owner and founder of Swag Kids Gym in West Bloomfield, Ralph Tompkins, about some of the biggest new developments coming with Swag Kids Gym in just a few short weeks. Of course, with all these big changes, Ralph, at the core of Swag Kids Gym are still the indoor fitness classes for all the kids of the community. What role would you say creativity and play-based learning continues to play in your approach to child development at Swag?
Yeah, it's really everything for us. And we know, as we've been around 6 years now, so we've had very consistent programming, but like as a creator of the educational experience through place-based movement, for us, we know that making changes in terms of adding directive music for kids to listen to be able to basically do the movements off the music is something that is super key that we've added into our programming, as well as just honestly just getting the parents really more involved, even with our classes that have some of the older kids, so that they continue to have that shared play experience, not only at the young level, ages 4 and down, but at the older levels, ages 5 and up, because parents still get the opportunity not only to bring their kids here to get taught by us, but also we want to encourage movement because these parents are role models for the kids. So we want to give them opportunities to not only do it inside of our space, but also give them the opportunity to have homework, so to speak, in terms of physical play and development and having games and activities to do with their kids at home. So it kind of breaks up the screen time and the TV time, just really just challenging them and charging them to be a pillar in their kids' life in more ways than it's providing for them, also providing the opportunity for them to have play-based movement at home. So that's something that we've really added inside of the gym to really for them to really take it to their home place or anywhere they go to on the playground. Really exciting experience. And we're just so honored to have everybody be able to come to the gym and take something from it different. But we've certainly taken on the challenge of having new music, having new movement, and having different experience for them around the gym to really be excited about going forward.
That's absolutely right. That's a really, really good way to look at things, that there's things for everybody to take away from these classes, not just the kiddos, but the parents themselves. Very, very important to remember. Now, Ralph, you said that Swag has been open for about 6 years at this point. That's a long time. I'm curious, what have you learned along the way about engaging with children and their families?
Well, first of all, like it means the world to me that these families really sacrifice their time and give us their energy and give us their most valuable possession, which is their kids. So what I've learned along the way is that it's great to have a constant structure, but it's also super important to keep up with the time, so to speak. So like we really take it serious when it comes to developing new programming and new opportunities for these kids to learn, grow, and develop underneath our space. So the biggest thing I can honestly take away is that like bringing the excitement, bringing energy, and bringing consistency of program is one thing, but evolving the programming and giving new programs, giving it a fresh look is equally as important, and staying engaged and staying in front of the community in different ways in terms of being able to give back, whether that's going to the schools and volunteering and being a part of assemblies and field trips, or just showing up, on the entertainment side as a DJ, but still bringing some of the elements that we do inside the swag, whether it's the music, the movements, or anything else. It's super important to us to just always stay engaged, not only in a gym, but with the community, and bring change to it in a positive way by bringing fresh programming and just consistent energy no matter what.
And that's exactly what you provide, Ralph, every single day for the people of the community. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. Having heard some of the big plans that you've got coming up in the few short weeks with Swag Kids Gym, what are some of your bigger goals for maybe expanding the business, maybe in either new programs, partnerships, maybe even new locations?
Yeah, so for us, like it's really just we're in a great state where our entertainment side is really taken off in terms of being able to do community outreach and provide different things. Now, for us, the constant opportunity for us is to bring in more excellent coaches inside of this facility to where, and then just really solidify our programming even more in terms of making it a franchisable, scalable model. So not only it can go just in different locations in Michigan, but really, across the country and worldwide. And, I have a great back end team behind me, great business partners, great people that work alongside me that really have the same common goal of really hunkering down this model and making it to where we can expand it down. And also, we've really beefed up our presence in terms of having David Thurman, he's been an integral part of our programming. He's really improved being able to showcase our content, because half the battle is not only being great, but being able to showcase it in a way where people can receive it, understand it, and be like, wow, this is something that we really want to be a part of, whether we come to Swag or really have the opportunity to go out to them and basically explain what we do and who we are and showcase it. So, we've really ramped up social media, but our long-term goal, and my goal has always really been to expand and make this a franchisable, scalable model around the world and to different places. So we're working harder than we ever have, and our team has been in place to where our goal is literally to push things forward so where every family across the world and across the country can eventually experience play-based learning via Swag.
I love to hear it. And hey, a great team goes a long way, and it truly does show the amount of success that you guys have had recently. Last question, Ralph. Out of everything, what do you hope is the biggest thing parents and kids take away from their experience at Swag beyond the physical fitness aspect?
Yeah, it's all about community connection, relationship building. Like the great thing about it, I've been in this game about 12 years, and I can say I have a couple thousand families that I just have been able to really just be able to help connect with other families, as well as really just get to know them. So like I've had clients that literally have started with me, and now their kids are either in middle school. I've got former clients with kids that now work at the gym. So just building relationship and community, and just honestly giving them the best version of what we offer so they can be the best version of themselves is something that has always been super important. And literally they're the reason why I do what I do, along with the team that I have. It's like, hey, let's continue to build these relationships within the community, but also get to know them on a personal level. And no matter how long they've stayed with us, whether it's been years or a few months, the thing I want them to take out of this the most is that's like, hey, at the end of the day, you had a great experience with myself and our staff because we gave you the best energy we had. And hopefully that translates into love of exercise, movement, and fitness going forward, not only just in their childhood, but in adulthood as well. And also reinvigorating the parents in terms of like, hey, like it's super important to not only spend time with your kids, but to build healthy habits and build relationships that go way beyond the gym. And that's something that I know we've done very well and will continue to do within the communities, not only in West Bloomfield, but the surrounding community as well. So it's super exciting for me to do it, and it's always an honor.
I'd imagine so. All very important things to take away. Ralph, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Appreciate you, man. It's always good to see you, and we'll be seeing you very soon down the road as well.
Very excited to hear about all of the fun changes coming with Swag Kids Gym, and just in time for everybody to be coming inside to get warm and to keep staying active all throughout the winter. We're just getting started here on the Splash Live. Plenty of other great stories and topics to get into right after this. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. What people are watching in West Bloomfield. Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. I'm excited that Civic Center TV has reached 1 million views on YouTube. Congratulations. That's just terrific. We appreciate everything Civic Center does for the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and the community. For us, they promote and highlight our events. It's awesome to have them available 24/7 on YouTube. I'm Gina Gregory and proud to be one in a million.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff. The Optimist Club of West Bloomfield will be holding a very important discussion on Tuesday, December 2nd, with Jonathan Maxgay of the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition. He will speak on the life-saving importance of Narcan training, stressing why households and drivers should keep Narcan easily accessible. Having Narcan accessible at home, in your car, or in public spaces increases the chances of saving a life during an emergency. Jonathan Maxgay joins us now on the Splash Live to give us a preview of his discussion and to share a little more insight. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, Jake, thank you for having me.
Of course, very important conversation. Glad that we're going to be having this open forum for the community. Now, for those unfamiliar, can you explain what Narcan is and how it works in the event of an opioid overdose?
Absolutely. So Narcan is an opioid reversal medication. It's typically found in a nasal spray. And what it does during an overdose is it completely blocks the opioid receptors, which during the overdose, it completely reverses the overdose.
Okay, that's good. Really, really nice to hear of how it comes into play and how it can truly help to save somebody's life. Why do you believe Narcan training is essential for everyday community members, not just healthcare professionals or first responders?
So during an overdose, minutes matter. It's very important to get medical treatment as soon as possible. And in Oakland County, we had a 37% reduction in overdose fatalities over the last calendar year. The county credits that to naloxone being in the hands of the public. So it's vital that everybody carry naloxone. It's free, it's easy to use. You can keep it in your car wherever you need it.
37%, that's a big difference. That's really good to hear how this is already starting to make an impact in this community. Now, what are maybe some of the most common misconceptions people might have about carrying or using something like Narcan?
So there's a lot of fear and a lot of stigma that comes around with opioid overdose, right? A lot of folks are afraid to administer naloxone due to preconceived notions of what someone using opioids looks like or how they're acting. We have the Good Samaritan law here in Michigan, which protects me from legal consequences in the event that I have to perform life-saving measures on somebody. So I just want the public to know that you're never in any danger if you're administering naloxone. It's completely safe. And like I said earlier, the minutes matter. It matters a lot trying to get that naloxone into that person to save their life.
Minutes certainly do matter. That's the biggest thing I think everybody can take away from remembering this conversation, from hearing what you have to say. Now, people emphasize keeping Narcan not only at home, but also in all other places like your car, for example. Why is having it accessible in multiple places so important?
Sure. I carry 6 doses on my backpack at all times. And, I go out in the community, so I suppose my likelihood of coming across someone who's experiencing an overdose is higher than the average. But I also go to restaurants. I go to grocery stores. You never know where you might find somebody who is experiencing an overdose. It's important to keep it on you at all times, and you can keep it in your car. With it being colder outside, we do have the possibility of the applicator freezing, so I try to keep mine temperature controlled. However, just having some on you at all times, it can never hurt.
That's right, and you're certainly right in that it can happen at any time, and you always have to be prepared wherever the location is and whatever time it's taking place. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Jonathan Maxgay of the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition, who's going to be giving a presentation on December 2nd about the importance of Narcan and why you should have it on you at all times. Now, what does the training process look like for someone who's never handled Narcan before? Is it difficult to learn?
It is not difficult to learn. In fact, on each box of Narcan, it's got 5 steps, and during our training process, we go over the 5 steps. It's really super duper easy. You try to wake the person up, you call 911, you administer the naloxone. You wait for it to start working. It can take 2 to 3 minutes to start working in the person. If after those 2 to 3 minutes it's not working, you administer the second dose. And here in Oakland County, we've got about a 5-minute EMS response time. So hopefully by then EMS is there and you've done your part.
That's all you got to do. Very easy process. That's good. Anybody can learn. Anybody old enough to learn, I would imagine. But anyone can help to save somebody's life. Now, like I said, you're giving this presentation in conjunction with the West Bloomfield Optimist Club. How can community organizations like the Optimist Club play a role in spreading awareness and encouraging more people to get trained?
So it comes down to the individuals, right? I'm available to do trainings for any organization that requests it. And I feel like when folks go home, they bring that conversation home. They bring that conversation to whatever other community organizations they're with. It's this domino effect of people are scheduling me for trainings. I mean, in a perfect world, everybody knows how to use naloxone. Everyone carries naloxone, but it really opens the door for conversations, right?
That's right, and we're hoping that a lot of people take away how they can help and the importance of wanting to help. But I think another thing to remember is, where can you get Narcan locally? Are there programs that provide it at little to no cost?
It's completely free, Jake. We've got, with the Alliance, we have our 105 Save a Life stations throughout the county. And in West Bloomfield, we have about a dozen. We've got a map on our website, alliancemi.org. You can find one right at City Hall, right in the Civic Center complex. And in our stabilized stations, we've got stocked with Narcan, stocked with test strips, resources, deterrent drug deactivation bags, and we make sure that those boxes stay filled up.
All right, that's good. Keeping it stocked for everybody, because you never know when a big flux of people is going to come in to want Narcan, and I think there might be a pretty big one after this presentation. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up, Jonathan. With something like this, there's going to be a lot of conversations maybe people have with their families, wanting to educate more people in the community. What steps can families take to start conversations at home about overdose prevention and the importance of being prepared?
It's tough, Jake. I mean, it is everywhere. It's in our community. We had a 37% reduction in overdose fatalities, but the overdose or the opioid epidemic is here. Starting those conversations, it comes from trainings. It comes from we work with the Fentanyl Fathers organization that goes into schools. It comes from people being concerned, seeing things on the news. Just letting families know that it's here. We've got naloxone, and starting the conversation can lead to people being less, I guess, having less stigma against it, and not being afraid to talk about things like this.
It's not an easy conversation to have, no matter the circumstance, but they are important conversations to make sure that this epidemic continues to shrink, become less of a problem, and that more and more people are educated. And you're certainly going to be doing that with this presentation, Jonathan. I got one more question before we wrap things up. If there's one message that you hope attendees walk away with more than anything else, what would it be?
That they can save a life. You just got to carry naloxone. I think that's the number one is to carry naloxone with them at all times, and everybody can play a part in this.
You're absolutely right. Very, very easy tips to remember. Once again, this presentation is going to be taking place on Tuesday, December 2nd at All Seasons of West Bloomfield at 7:30 a.m. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you for having me, Jake. Have a good day.
You as well. Very, very important conversations to have. Very difficult conversations, maybe in a lot of circumstances, but very important ones. So we appreciate Jonathan for all the work that he is doing in educating the people of Greater West Bloomfield. The holiday season has arrived in Greater West Bloomfield, and coming up very soon is one of the most beloved holiday events of the year. The 10th annual Not So White Elephant Holiday Party, which brings together community members, business owners, and friends for a fun and festive evening. Attendees can enjoy raffle drawings, gift exchanges, and plenty of laughs while connecting with local leaders and fellow residents. And the event takes place on Wednesday, December 10th from 5 to 8 at the Bay Point Golf Club. Suzanne Levine, the Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. Suzanne, good morning.
Good morning. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I did. I hope you had one as well. Always love having you on the program, hearing about the great things the Chamber of Commerce has in store. And as I said, this is the 10th anniversary of the Not So White Elephant Party. A decade. What does reaching this milestone mean to you and the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce?
It's a really wonderful way to make sure that we honor some small charity that perhaps doesn't get the recognition. We know that this time of year especially, we have to be cognizant of all the people in need. And so I created this event like 10 years ago as a way not only to have our chamber kind of festive party, but also to honor some small charity. And it's been very successful. In the past years, we've done Gary Bernstein Clinic, backpacks, blessings in a backpack, and others. And this year, we're really honored to have Brave Hearts. It's a great charity that honors children that have aged out of foster care. And we tend to forget that once a teen, a young adult ages out, what happens to them? If they have no family, where to go, who takes care of them? So Brave Hearts is a foundation created by Jennifer Taylor Boykins, who happens to be on our board as well. And it's really just a phenomenal organization. I suggest that people research it and, donate to this great cause.
It sounds like an incredible cause. Brave Hearts, once again, the charity being recognized and supported with this year's Not So White Elephant Party. Could you share a little bit more why Brave Hearts was chosen as this year's beneficiary?
But we always try to find charities that are not really in the public eye. And of course, there's like millions of different great charities, cancer, leukemia. There's just too many to even mention. And all of them receive a lot of recognition and donations. So we try to choose one that people aren't aware or cognizant of, so that maybe they'll give to this one, because if we only raise even, let's say, $1,200 to a small charity, that's a huge amount of money. To some of the larger charities, not that they don't appreciate it, but it's more of a drop in the bucket. So that's why we always try to find a charity that people maybe aren't aware even exists.
And that's amazing that you're supporting charities like this. And yes, even if you only have a few dollars to spare to support a charity like this, those numbers add up and they make such a huge difference. Now, this event blends fun with philanthropy. How important is it to the Chamber to incorporate giving back into community traditions like this?
I think it's really important because, as many people might not know, we are also a nonprofit. So, it's always very difficult for us to just, give back to all the different resources and people that need, money and funds. So this is why this is so much fun. We sort of took the concept of the white elephant, where you wrap up a gift and you pick numbers and maybe you get to keep the gift you got. But instead of doing that, it's a not so white elephant, where you bring a wrapped gift and we sell raffle tickets, and all that money goes to the charity, and you get to choose your gift, and you actually get to keep it unless you want to trade it with someone. So it's kind of, blends charity with, you will actually hopefully get something besides, the feeling positive that you gave to a charity.
Yeah, everybody's going to be walking away with something, and there's going to be so much joy and so much laughter with an event like this. And like I said, this event's been going on for a decade now. How would you say this event has evolved over those 10 years, and what has remained at the heart of its success?
I think the heart of the success is giving recognition to these nonprofits. That's really the basis of why we do it. We've evolved in that we have their nicer events. We've been able to tap into some of our local restaurants like Aurora. This year we're doing it at Bay Point Golf Club. It's gorgeous, and they're donating all the free appetizers. And it's a great way for them to showcase their beautifully renovated facility. And we're always so grateful to our chamber members that, donate their venues for us, because it makes it a more festive event.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Suzanne Levine, the Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, who's talking about this year's Not So White Elephant Holiday Party, the 10th annual event, which is going to be taking place on Wednesday, December 10th at the Bay Point Golf Club. Now, I was at the Not So White Elephant Party last year. I had a wonderful time. For those who have never attended before, what can they expect from the experience at Bay Point this year?
Well, I think what's really great is that people are in this very giving, welcoming mood. So you'll be able to network with our chamber board members, with other leaders in our community. And I think that it's just a great event to give back and feel good about the upcoming holidays, and hopefully be positive about 2026. So every year we hope to do this and continue and find a small charity that doesn't have any kind of huge marketing budget, so people really aren't aware that they even exist. So they can expect to just have a really great time and feel positive about what they're doing and what they're giving.
Having a great, fun holiday night while giving back and doing plenty of good all the while. Now, let's say there's some community members who who maybe aren't chamber members, how can they still participate and feel included in the festivities?
There is a little bit of a extra charge for non-chamber members, but they can go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, or they can contact me at wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com or 248-626-3636, to submit payment. But I think they'll have a great time because this is a great way to even see what our chamber is about. We have a really fabulous chamber. Everyone in our chamber really wants to do business with each other and support one another, just like we were supporting the charities. So I think it's just such a great event to end the year on a high note, feeling good, feeling festive, and connecting with some, potential new either customers, clients, patients, or even just networking.
So many things to take away from this event. Now, I'm curious, with this event having gone on for so many years, how does it feel, how do you feel seeing all of the good that comes from the Greater West Bloomfield community every single year with an event like this?
It makes me feel really great because, as I say, as we are a nonprofit, I can't just give away money, which I would love to do. So this is a great way that we can give back to the community and show that we really support them. I just love it. It makes me feel really great about entering the holiday season because we know it's not just all about getting or receiving. It's really about giving back. And that's really what the holiday should be about, is a spirit of, love and warmth and giving back.
And that's something I feel like everybody experiences as they grow older. Like when you're a kid and it's the holidays, all you want are the presents. You want to receive. You're like, gimme, gimme, gimme. But as you get older, it feels a lot more meaningful to see the look on somebody's face when they get a present or when they get something that they want. And I think everybody in the community is going to experience that with this event. I can't wait to see it. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up, Suzanne. Looking ahead, how do you envision this event continuing to grow and serve the community in the years to come?
I think we'll just continue to research all the different charities out there and try to make it, add a little more dazzle to it if we can. We have a lot of changes coming, forward in our chamber in 2026, trying to be more strategic and help our community as much as we can, because we really aren't sure of all the challenges that we'll face. So I love the fact that this is one of those traditions that, keeps on giving and growing. And, certainly we'll try to figure out, maybe we can get some celebrities involved, if we can find a charity that they're involved in, to try to, bring a little bit more sparkle to the event.
Hey, any bit of help is necessary and any bit of help is wanted for something like this. Where can people go to gain a little bit more information about this year's Not So Wet Elephant Party?
Well, there is a link on our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, so they can go there. And there's also a little flyer about Bravehearts. I think that people should go and check it out because it's really just such an amazing organization. I think we tend to forget what happens to these young adults when they age out of foster care. Do they remain with any of the families? Are they just on the street? I mean, this is really, it's a problem. So I love the fact that Jennifer Taylor Boykins this is her passion, in addition to her company, Nothing But Education, but she's really invested in helping people. And I love that about her. And I think, anytime that you can express your gratitude for all that you have in even tiny, small ways is really important, especially during the holiday season.
That's right, and every bit of help can help this organization with their continued mission. I can't wait to see it. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
And I'm expressing my gratitude to Civic Center TV and you and everyone that works there for always featuring our community.
Of course, always here to help and to promote amazing events like this. Once again, the 10th annual Not So White Elephant Holiday Party. It's going to be taking place at the Bay Point Golf Club on December 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. Winter Wonderland is coming up very, very soon within Kego Harbor. Winter Wonderland Park to be exact. A seasonal community celebration hosted by Kego Harbor Parks and Rec at Rose Sorter Park. The event takes place on Friday, December 5th at 6 p.m., bringing families together to enjoy the annual lighting of the park. Kirsten Sonneval Douglas of the Kego Harbor Parks and Recs team joined us on The Splash recently to tell us all about it. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Of course, always love to talk about great stuff happening in Kego Harbor, and this is one of those events that I truly think everybody looks forward to every single year. Talk about the origins of the Winter Wonderland Park. How did it all get started?
Oh, it was revamped because of COVID. Prior to COVID, it was a big to-do in DPW. We had to move all, and this was actually before I was on the commission, all the police cars, all of the equipment had to be moved out of DPW. They did an amazing job of lighting up DPW. They had crafts, Santa came. It was a wonderful event. We had to revamp it because of COVID, right? We couldn't gather, and we're technically Parks and Rec. So I threw out an idea saying, what if we lit up the park? And I'm forever thankful for Leslie Clark because she took that idea and made it happen. She's out there measuring and researching different lights, and I'm so thankful for her. So every year it's gotten better. So since 2022, I believe, is the first one that we had. We keep adding to it, and it's just magical. If you have the chance to see it, it's wonderful.
It is a beautiful thing, and it's great to hear of all of the planning that goes into making this lighting ceremony just right for everybody. So you said this has been going on for a few years now. How would you say this event has grown or changed since the previous years, and what makes this year, 2025, so special?
It takes time for new events to kind of take hold. Since coming on the commission, one of my missions was to kind of make sure that our calendar was solid. I don't know if that's the right word, but that this is always our Winter Wonderland will kick off on the first Friday of December. So that way we're not sitting there going, is it this Friday? Is it the next Friday? It's always going to be the first Friday of December. And then just word of mouth. And the first time people, walking around or driving around, you can actually see it from Cass Lake at night when it's dark, right? People come by every night. When you're around, you'll see someone in the park. It's just wonderful bringing community, even not just for the event, but through the whole month of December.
That's right. It sets the tone for the month to come. I mean, the holiday season brings so much joy to everybody, and it's events like these that really help kick it off just right. Kirsten, what can families expect when they arrive at Rose Sorter Park for the lighting celebration?
Well, if they come just a few minutes before 6, it'll be dark. We will do a countdown to light the park up, and then we just celebrate with some music. We've got barrels where people can roast marshmallows. We'll have hot dogs, some hot chocolate. There is a fun Kego Land game so that people can take spinners and have tasks that when they're walking around the park or around the path. What else? Just being around community is so wonderful.
It absolutely is, and that sounds like so much fun for all the families that are going to be attending this event. Now, of course, with a lot of community events, there's also a greater purpose. You guys are going to be doing some great work at this event to support the Open Door Outreach Center. Can you describe how that partnership came to be and how the donations are going to be supporting local families?
Yeah, when we were continuing to revamp this or add to this event, we thought about the season of lights and the season of giving. And to help our community, one of our commissioners at the time, Jackie Van Dox, and I want to thank her for her work, partnered with Open Door Outreach Center. And so we do a food drive all the month of December, and people can bring their non-perishable food items to City Hall, but they can also bring it to the event, and we'll make sure that it gets to the center.
All great things being done in Kego Harbor. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Kirsten Sonneville-Douglas of the Kego Harbor Parks and Rec team about the annual Winter Wonderland Park event that's going to be coming up very, very soon on Friday, December 5th at 6 p.m. Now, Kirsten, we talked about this a little bit, but truly with events like these, you want to make sure that there's something for everybody here. How do you ensure that the event is accessible and welcoming for residents of all ages?
So there's activities for little ones. I mean, who doesn't like to make a s'more, right? So that's for everyone. But we make sure that these are free events so that there are no barriers when it comes to finances, and that we just want to make sure it's available for the community. It's only an hour long, so it's not a huge time commitment either, but it's fun. We've had adults going around playing the Candyland game and said it was just really fun to like hit one of the spots and then they had to sing a Christmas carol or something like that. So it's just really enjoyable for everybody.
It's only an hour long, but so much can happen in that time period to really make a difference. And how do you hope the event really strengthens community connections in Kego Harbor?
Just wanting to get our community out and about. Part of it also is the volunteerism. This weekend, our team was out there busy setting it up. We'll be out there again this next Saturday, next Sunday at noon. So if people are available to help out, we can always use another hand, but it really is about bringing our community together, whether it's serving our community or just actually bringing them together to hang out and build that community.
That's right. And we want as many community members to be helping out with this event as possible. And even if they're not able to, let's say they're not able to attend that event, something else is going on that night, how can community members participate beyond attending? For example, maybe contributing to the food drive.
So the food drive is all this whole month. So they can bring their non-perishable food items to City Hall, but people can join just by, liking us on Facebook, being plugged in, knowing what's happening with us, because we have people who have little ones, and so they have activities that speak to them, like the egg hunt. But then we have adults, maybe some retirees that are like, I just want to hang out at a park and listen to some music and have some good food and hang out with some friends and check out some local artisans. And then the block party is for them. But it's something for everyone. We're trying to make sure that we do have that and we hit all those points.
Something for everybody with the Winter Wonderland event in Kego Harbor. But out of everything that takes place with this event, Kirsten, what do you hope families, the biggest thing, what do you hope families take away from the event as they head into the holiday season?
They have fun. That's my biggest one, is that they have a good time and that we think of others with that whole giving. So I'm hoping that just bringing a can of something to the City Hall or to the event will help another family in need.
You're right. All great things that can be done. Last question before we wrap things up, Kirsten. We have this event happening on December 5th. Can you give us maybe a little bit of insight of some other things that might be taking place with Kego Harbor throughout the rest of December and maybe even into the next year?
So that wraps up for December. Unless you want to come to a Parks and Rec meeting, we'd love to have you. But we do have our Taste of Kego, which is our restaurant week that will happen at the end of January, and that is January 26th. Starts 26th and goes for a week.
All right, lots to look forward to in Kego Harbor and lots of holiday fun on the horizon. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thanks, Jake.
We're still in that early time of December of the winter season when nobody's really sick of the snow yet. Everyone's happy to see it, and it's just bringing all of this warmth and excitement to the community and a good preview for the holiday season. And that's exactly what the Winter Wonderland Park is going to be providing on December 5th. Hale Media, based in Ann Arbor, positions itself as a media outlet focused on all things Michigan Wolverines. The organization calls itself a fully developed entertainment network and plans to feature a mix of content styles, including animated segments, fan-centric shows, and even former player features. And the man behind it all is a friend of the show, Doug Cohen, a West Bloomfield resident and U of M alum who joined us on the Splash Live to tell us all about the project.
Doug, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on getting this started.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's great to be with you again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to have you on. You and I talked about this off camera just shortly after the last time you were here on the Splash Live talking about Michigan football. This much more of an exciting topic, something you've had in the works for a while, bringing together a bunch of different programs that highlight Michigan's sports and the culture at the University of Michigan behind its athletics. What for you sparked wanting to start a media group like this and put these shows together for Michigan fans locally and across the world?
Well, so it's an important question because the genesis of this really started out with the Football Alumni of Michigan, which I do a lot of work with. It's a nonprofit and an organization and a topic that's really near and dear to my heart because the purpose of FAM, of Football Alumni of Michigan, is to try to help former players in need. You know, a lot of guys come out of that program and playing Division I football, you know, battered and not necessarily in one piece. And some of them suffer from CTE and you know, depression and some of these things that they need help with. So we started to think about ways that we could get our message out as Football Alumni of Michigan and, you know, raise funds and be able to provide services. And we figured one way to do it would be to tell our stories. You know, the rich tradition of Michigan football, and we've got all these great stories and former players that people are big fans of still to this day from their childhood growing up and watching their exploits at the big house. So we figured we would launch a media endeavor where we could start doing some podcasts and really tell our own stories, right? But as we started to go down that road, we realized we ran into a few obstacles from a standpoint of when you start to try to monetize too many different types of content as a nonprofit, if all of that content does not tightly focus on your nonprofit mission, then you can run into some risk where they could consider it taxable income and you could threaten your nonprofit status if you try to monetize stuff that isn't the focus of your nonprofit. So we decided, so back up a second. So Chris Howard, who was the tailback on the 1997 national championship team, he and I had been working on this idea for FAM to have this FAM media thing. And once we realized it might not be a good idea for FAM to own it because of the nonprofit issue, we decided, well, this is still a great idea. And we've already put in enough work that we're going to continue to make it happen. And the thing about it is if by doing it separately and setting it up as Hail Media, now we can still support FAM, and FAM can actually have a podcast on Hail Media where their podcast will be focused on the FAM mission. So we can still make that happen without FAM owning the whole network and getting into these different types of content and topics that don't square with their mission. So that's the genesis of it. That's how it started. And since we started it, we've, you know, the freedom of not having to be tied to the nonprofit mission only has allowed us to really come up with some great creative types of shows and connect with a lot of great creators in our football community and starting to expand into other sports and topics as well, like music and food and comedy. You know, we're doing a lot of great stuff now, and it's really exciting.
And it's a great way to engage the fan community from the University of Michigan that spreads all throughout our local area, from here in West Bloomfield with a strong connection to Ann Arbor, and then all throughout the world. That's a big part of this, too, because nowadays with the technology that's available, anybody can start a media venture of their own. They can create a podcast, they can create shows, but you have a unique perspective on this yourself and Chris as well as alumni of the University of Michigan and alumni of the University of Michigan football program, but also as fans of football also. So as you begin this, how much did fan engagement play into how you're putting together these different programs and the collective of Hail Media Group?
A big part of it. I mean, we want to involve the community and the fan base in a lot of ways. One of the things that we actually did was Chris had connected with the owner of one of these fan groups on Facebook that had 13,000 members. and had gotten to know the administrator of the group, and told them about what we were doing. They were very interested in the idea and wanted to kind of be a part of it. And so what we did was we basically took over the group. It's in the name of the group is the Big House, and now it's the Big House presented by Hale Media, and there's 13,000 members in this Facebook group. So we really wanted to try to activate those folks and get them involved. And we've had a couple of Zooms with like the team of admins, because there's multiple admins in a group. So we Zoomed with them, let them know what we were doing. We've done some exclusive content in that group and really tried to get them to be a part of it. And there's going to be some segments on some of these shows that are going to be features on fans and allow them to come on as guests and tell some of their stories. So we definitely want to involve the fans, because kind of to your point, Tyler, we're fans too. Even though we played, we're still big fans of Michigan sports and all the things that go with it, the culture around it, the music, I want to get like the marching band folks involved as well, because we love the band, and that's a big part of our culture and really the whole experience of a football game at Michigan. So there's a lot of ways that we want to get as many people kind of under the tent as possible, for sure.
You can check out Doug's full interview with Tyler on civiccentertv.com to hear all about Hale Media. But that's going to do it for us today here on The Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the team for making this show possible every single day. I've been your host, Jake Schaff. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV.